When someone asks, "What is your choir all about?" or "Define your choir," what comes to mind? Now, most choirs will shrug or they'll struggle to answer this. They'll talk about singing or friendship or rehearsals, but there's often no clear answer. And that's a problem. Because choirs without identity drift. Rehearsals become generic. Recruitment messaging is bland and forgettable. Concerts attract some new recruits maybe, but maybe not the ones who'll stay. Today we're talking about something every leader should nail, and that's defining your choir's identity. So members and audiences instantly understand who you are and why it matters. Welcome back to today's edition of The Ambitious Choir. I'm Kev Jackson, and this episode is for musical directors, chairs and committee members who want their choir to stand out. We're going to explore why identity matters, the mistakes that choirs make, and simple exercise to clarify yours. So let's dive in. Part 1, why most choirs blend into the background. Okay, so here's the uncomfortable truth. Most community choirs sound and look like every other community choir. They perform a similar repertoire, they run very similar rehearsals, and they communicate in very, very similar ways. The result of that is that they blend into the background and they don't stand out. Potential members scroll past social media posts without even noticing. And as we've said before in earlier podcasts, generic posts may not attract the people that you want in your choir. Audiences don't know whether they should choose your concert over another. For example, if they listen to your concert blindfolded, would they know it was you? Now, identity is not about ego, it's about clarity and differentiation, making sure that you, as a choir, stand out. If you think about your favourite choirs, they have a recognisable style. You know what to expect and you feel drawn to their energy, their repertoire or culture. Now, your choir can have that too, but you need to be intentional in deciding exactly what that identity is. Let's clear up a common misconception. Identity isn't just your logo or your poster design. It's who you are as a choir and what you represent. Brand clarity is about musical identity, so the music style, repertoire and standard that you aim for, your social identity, so the experience of being a part of your choir and how it projects itself. And 3, your audience identity, the impression that you leave on those who attend your concerts. And that could be fun, high quality, community engaged, just to name but a few. If you can define these clearly, your marketing, recruitment and leadership decisions now all align naturally. You market to the right people, you'll perform to the right people, and importantly, you'll recruit people that you want, and they'll stay because they know exactly what they're getting into. So our next section is around the danger of trying to please everyone. Now, many choirs fall into the trap of friendly for everybody. We'll sing a bit of everything. We won't challenge anyone, and we want everybody to like us. Now, here's the problem. Trying to please everyone pleases no one except our own family. Audiences will get confused because they don't know where you sit musically. Now, members get unclear signals about your standards. Recruitment messaging becomes generic and quite bland, so you recruit people who come for a few weeks and then start and drift away. Ambitious choirs define who they are for and they're unapologetic about it. That clarity attracts the right singers and the right audiences. So let's undertake something practical to find out what your identity is. Step 1, musical identity. Ask yourself or your committee, are we a traditional choir? Are we contemporary choir? Or are we a mix? Do we aim for tight harmonies, big sound, or emotional storytelling? You decide what those descriptors should be, but you need to choose them before we move on to step 2. Now, step 2 is around your cultural identity. So ask yourselves or your committee, do we prioritise social connection? Do we prioritise challenging music, professionalism or fun? And how do we want our members to feel in rehearsals and our concerts? And step 3 is about your audience identity. Ask yourselves, who do we want in the audience? Do we want families and friends? Do we want music enthusiasts or community supporters? And what do we want them to remember about us after a concert? So now, with those 3 steps complete, you can craft a 1-sentence identity statement. For example, we're a high-energy community choir creating unforgettable contemporary concerts for people who love big harmonies and joyful performances. Now, you keep it dead simple, but very specific and true. In that single sentence, you've defined exactly who you are, what you do, and who your choir is for. And that, ladies and gents, is your identity. That sentence, that identity, becomes the backbone of your messaging and decision making. Rehearsals, recruitment, concert programming, marketing, even committee discussions. Everything aligns when you know who you are. So the leadership mindset behind identity. Now, identity isn't about ego. It's about confidence and clarity. When you lead with a clear sense of who your choir is, members understand expectations, committees make aligned decisions, recruitment messages become targeted and magnetic. Concerts feel purposeful and attract audiences that know what to expect. Ambitious choirs lead with identity. They don't drift, they don't waffle, they decide who they are and they act consistently. So in closing, 3 key takeaways. Number 1, most choirs blend into the background because they have not defined who they are, and probably never will. If your choir does it and knows their identity, it's no longer a scattergun approach, it's laser focused. Number 2, identity is not a logo. It's your choir's personality, it's your culture and your musical style. It's simply put, exactly who you are. And 3, being ambitious means that leading with clarity so that your choir attracts the right singers, engages the right audience, and thrives intentionally. If a potential member sees that you do contemporary music and they're looking for an operatic choir, then they won't join. And that's okay, because you want to attract the right people for your choir. The same around audiences. You know who to target, and your marketing and your focus is on that demographic. Your identity is everything. Get that right and you will attract the right people. They will find you as their tribe. Now, if today's episode makes sense to you, please subscribe to The Ambitious Choir. Next episode, we'll tackle how to design rehearsals that keep people coming back and make your choir irresistible to members. Until then, lead clearly, decide boldly, and don't be afraid to be ambitious.